welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video I'm going to be taking a personality test. I originally saw this on Gabby Linley's YouTube channel, so I'll link that video down below if you want to check that one out. So the personality test I'm going to be doing is called 16personalities.com. Well, that's the website. And I'm going to take the test and see what it says about my personality. Attempt to do a screen record. So I'm taking the test now. So it takes less than 12 minutes. It says to answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer. And make sure you complete it all. I'm just going to grab my cup of tea. So the first question is, you enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people? No. I'm going to have to put disagree for that one. Next it says you often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. I'll say a disagree but not completely. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Yeah, I agree. You often think about what you should... Wow, I can't read. That should be a question. Can you read? Agree, disagree. You often think about what you should have said in conversation long after it had taken place. Yeah, I agree with that one. This video is just going to be me drinking a cup of tea for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long this video is. If your friend is sad about something... Wow, I can't read. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally and not try to solve their problem. I'd say I'm more trying to solve the problem. I'm not very good at the whole emotional support thing. I'm usually like, it'll be okay. So but then again, I try. I'll agree a little bit. People can rarely upset you. Completely disagree with that one. I get upset by people all the time. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. Yes. You have to temporarily put your plans on hold. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it's your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. No, I'm really easily distracted and then I forget about what it was I was doing, so I'm gonna disagree with that one. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. That is completely not true. I worry about the littlest things, honestly, so I'm going to disagree. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. Yes, I strongly agree. I like being alone to an extent, but not for a whole weekend, no. You're more of a detail orientated than the bigger picture person. In some aspects, yes. I'm going to agree a little bit with that one. So you're affectionate with people you really care about. Agree. Next. You have a careful and methodical You have a careful and methodical approach to life. Disagree. You're still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. I somewhat agree with that one. Take that. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. It depends how drunk I am. So at a party, I'll agree a little bit because it depends on the scenario, it depends what's going on. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. Disagree, I guess. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalogue. Agree. I could spend hours and hours and hours browsing Netflix and still not find something I want to watch. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. This depends on the scenario. If I'm in a situation where I have no idea what's going on and I have no control over it, then no. But if it's like a work environment and I know what I need to do and there's a lot of pressure, then I can. So I'm going to go in the middle with that one because it depends on the situation. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Disagree. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. No, my dreams tend to be like real life, made up rubbish. So I disagree. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Disagree. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. No, disagree. I get sidetracked so hard. It's bad. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities or your knowledge. Yeah, agree a little bit. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Yeah, probably. It's not that I don't want to talk to new people, it's that I get really anxious about talking to people I don't know. So, I agree. Next. You lose when you are... Wow. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. I somewhat agree. I don't really know much about much, really. So if it's a conversation I know nothing about it, I'm a bit like, I'm gonna zone out and look at Facebook. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. I disagree. I cry a lot, especially when I'm drunk. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. I agree a little bit. Not on purpose, but I tend to go into places that are quite busy. Like, if I'm going on holiday, I'd like to go to a more touristy area where I know there's going to be things for me to do, than go to like a little quiet area where I don't really know if there's going to be much going on. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. Somewhat agree. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. I don't know, I'm going in the middle with that one. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch or experience. Disagree, because I like science and things and some of that can't be proven. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than to forgive. Disagree. You often make decisions on a whim. Disagree a little bit. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and more satisfying than the time you spend with other people. No, I disagree. I like to be by myself sometimes, but I'm happier when I'm with other people. Although sometimes I don't make the effort to be with other people. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or a movie. No, I like someone to explain it to me. You always know exactly what you want. Disagree. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. Disagree. When in a public place, you usually stick to the quieter and less crowded areas. Agree. You tend to focus on you tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. I agree a little bit. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I disagree. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. Agree a little bit. Like, I like to know what needs to be done. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. A little bit. Disagree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a I wouldn't even be able to have a conversation at this rate. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Disagree. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. Agree. You look after... Oh my goodness. You look after yourself first and others come in second. I'd say I disagree. Not completely, but I do disagree. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Agree. Your mood can change very quickly. Agree. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I disagree. I don't think about that much, really. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. Disagree. Never. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. I mean, I've got things that I want to do. Like, I want to go to university and do nursing and things like that. but they're not exactly plans that are set in stone, so I'll agree a little bit. You rarely dwell on your regrets. Disagree. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. I would say I agree partly. Like I say, I like being on my own. I also like being with other people, but if I've been with other people for too long, I feel like I need time by myself to recover from that. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. I'm not sure I'll go in the middle with that one. You find it easy to empathise with a person who has gone through something you never have. I'd agree a little bit. To some extent, yes, but then there's some things where I guess you have to have been in the situation to sort of understand. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organised and consistent efforts. I disagree. I like to be quite organised at work and know what I'm doing and what's been done and what's still to be done, if that makes any sense. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I somewhat agree. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. Disagree. Sometimes I don't mind going out, but I need to be prepared for it, like spontaneous nights out. I mean, they always end up being more fun, but they take a lot of stress. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. Not frequently, no. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. I mean, I try to, but I can't say I always do. You still honour the commitments you have made if you have a change of heart. If this is agreeing to do extra shifts at work and then on the day deciding you're too tired, then yeah, I do. I'll go with a little bit agree. You rarely feel insecure. Disagree. Oh, so I've got my personality type is an adventurer. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. So I'm 67% introverted and 33% extroverted. Energy is 66% observant and 34% intuitive. Nature, this trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. So 74% is feeling and 26% is thinking. Tactics, this trait reflects our approach to work planning and decision making. So 35% is judging and 65% prospecting. And then it says for identity, this trait underpins all of us, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. So 81% turbulent and 19% assertive. Probably true. So I'm going to read a bit about the adventurer. So this is just a little bit about the personality type that I got. So it just says, adventurer personalities are true artists, but not necessarily in the typical sense where they're out painting happy little trees. Often enough though, they are perfectly capable of this. Rather it's that they use aesthetics, design and even their choices and actions to push the limits of social convention. Adventurers enjoy upsetting traditional expectations with experiments in beauty and behaviour. Chances are they've expressed more than once in the phrase, "don't box me in." Adventurers live in a colourful, sensual world inspired by connections with people and ideas. These personalities take joy in reinterpreting the connections, reinventing and experimenting with both themselves and new perspectives. No other type explores and experiments in this way. This creates a sense of spontaneity, making adventurers seem unpredictable even to their close friends and loved ones. Despite all this, adventurers are definitely introverts, surprising their friends further when they step out of the spotlight to just be by themselves and recharge. Just because they are alone though doesn't mean people with the adventurer personality type sit idle. They take this time for introspection, assessing their principles. Rather than dwelling on the past or the future, adventurers think about who they are. They return from their cloister transformed. Adventurers live to find ways to push their passions. Risky behaviours like gambling and extreme sports are more common with this personality type than with others. Fortunately, their attunement to the moment and their environment allows them to do better than most. Adventurers also enjoy connecting with others and have a certain irresistible charm. Very nice. However, if a criticism does get through, it can end poorly. Some adventurers can handle kindly phrased commentary, valuing it as another perspective to help push their passions in new directions. But if the comments are more bittering and less mature, adventurer personalities can lose their temper in spectacular fashion. Adventurers are sensitive to others' feelings and value harmony. When faced with criticisms, it can be a challenge for people with this type to step away from the moment long enough to not get caught up in the heat of the moment. But living in the moment goes both ways, and once the heat and emotions of an argument cool, adventurers can usually call the past the past and move on as though it never occurred. Meaning is in every expression of life. The biggest challenge facing adventurers is planning for the future, finding constructive ideas to base their goals, and working out goals that create positive principles is no small task. Adventurers don't plan their futures in terms of assets and retirements, rather they plan actions and behaviours and contributions to a sense of identity, building a portfolio of experiences, not stocks. If these goals and principles are notable, adventurers can act with amazing charity and selfishness, but it can also happen that people with the adventurer personality type establish a more self-centred identity, acting with selfishness, manipulation and egoism. It's important for adventurers to remember that to actively become the person they want to be. Developing and maintaining a new habit may not come naturally, true, but taking the time each day to understand their motivations allows adventurers to use their strengths to pursue whatever they've come to love. Okay. Oh, so some adventurers that we may know. Kevin Costner, no. Avril Lavigne, yes. Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, Lana Del Rey, Jessica Alba, Joss Stone. So guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you have, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!